What is going on, y'all? Joe Johnston here from Initiate Connections, the best speaker growth consulting company in the space today, bar none. And I am here with my man, Kevin McShan. Super excited to record this video. Kevin has been absolutely crushing it since joining our program a few months ago, and excited to dive in deeper with him and hear a little bit about his journey working with us and where he's at in his speaking business now. So without further ado, Kevin, how are you, brother? Good to see you.
Joseph, it's always a great pleasure to spend a few minutes with you, buddy. It's always great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, of course, brother. Thanks for coming on. And this is the second one we've had to do because since we last chatted, you just added even more revenue and more business to your speaking business. So let's start with that, man. Let's get right into the question that I care so much about and is always fun to talk about when you're getting into speaking. Since we started working together a couple months ago, how much money, how much new business have you acquired through working our system and working this process in paid speaking revenue?
Yeah, so since joining this January, Joseph, I'm $50 shy of $8,000 since joining the program, my friend.
Excellent. Excellent. I love it, man. And that's such a big, accomplishment for you because talk about, I mean, had you ever gotten paid before coming to us? I remember, you and Aaron connected. Where were you at? Like, what did things look like before we started working together? Like when we connected in January, where were you at with everything and where were you at in your speaking business?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, Joseph, I wasn't fully focused on being a full-time speaker like I had done it in the past. Just based on my background and working in the community. So the most I've had ever made as a speaker since joining the program was $1,250. But there was a calling that I saw when I joined this program. I had just left a job in anticipation of starting another one, but because of the pandemic, I had a chance to sort of refocus and recommit myself to something that I wanted to do from a personal perspective. And I had always wanted to be a full time speaker, but it wasn't until I joined the program that I dove full time into it. So it certainly changed the trajectory and sort of direction of my personal and professional life for sure.
Heck yeah, man, and that's what we love to see, and has been so exciting and seeing with you. So tell us a little bit about that, man. Like where you mentioned you had gotten paid a little bit before joining us, but where exactly were you at, and what were sort of some of the struggles that you were facing when it came to scaling out your speaking business? And I guess the greater question is, how did we help? Right? What have we been able to do over the past couple months that has allowed you to not only get $8,000 in paid speaking revenue, but I mean, man, with you, it feels like either discovery calls, couple a week, landing engagements every other week or, once a week. What has the process been like and where have we really sort of fit into to help you achieve what you've been able to achieve inside of your speaking business?
Yeah, I think the quick answer to that question is narrowing my focus on what my speaker sort of endorsement placement statement is, and sort of narrowing what I speak on, why I'm passionate about it, and the value that I bring to organizations. So the quick answer is narrowing the focus and really honing in on the value that I bring to organizations.
Heck yeah. I love it, man. Yeah, that clarity is so huge. And I think one of the things that we chatted about with you is like, hey, you can be a motivational speaker and you certainly are super motivational, but also one of the reasons that you succeeded so much is because your massive message, which I want you to chat about in a little bit, and what you do solves a very real problem inside of organizations. So tell us a little bit about your message, man, and a little bit about your story and what you speak on and how you impact organizations.
Yeah, so Joseph, as you know, at the age of 9, buddy, I was told that I wouldn't be able to walk without the assistance of a walker because of the severity of my cerebral palsy. But one of the tenets that I live my life by is that inclusion is the gateway to independence, and I have a real passion for infusing individuals with disabilities into the workforce. As you know, this upcoming October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and it's important to me to show organizations the competitive advantage that they can bring to their business or organization by infusing folks with disabilities into the workforce. I also talk to athletes in college and university about the importance of defining success and planning for life after college, and
Mm.
really giving them a road to prosperity once they get the piece of paper they worked so hard for. So, in a nutshell, I speak to organizations about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I also talk to athletes and sports organizations about the importance of maximizing the value both on and off the field, and then defining success as well.
I love it, man. I love it. Such an important message. And you've seen, obviously, with your outreach, like that inclusivity message for you has been obviously something you're incredibly passionate about. And now you've been able to not only help organizations, but also monetize it for you. So, talk to us a little bit, man, about like where you're at now. Obviously, you've landed the 8K. You just mentioned to me you have two engagements next week, kind of back to back. So, you're certainly working, man. You're certainly on the circuit and getting after it. But where are you at right now in terms of your speaking business, in terms of like a daily, weekly process? And where are you? What does the future look like for you as you start to continue to, or not start, but you continue to grow this out moving forward?
Well, I think my sort of landing spot as a speaker is to continue to uh, uh, embrace the process of lead generation and really hone into the intricacies of doing that, because as you told me when I first joined the program, a lot of the speakers are super passionate about delivering a message, but they're not super passionate about doing the work in order to that's required for them to deliver a message on a consistent basis. So, for me as a speaker and as an individual, it's all about the consistency of the process and sort of wash, rinse, and repeating it, and really embracing the process of forming relationships. I always tell people that I am a connector of people. I like to form relationships and build social capital. And part of being a speaker and doing this on a full time basis is embracing the prospect of building relationships and really making sure that I am drilling down on the value that I give to organizations through my own personal and professional experience. So it's all about wash, rinse, and repeating the lead generation process. And I would say um, for any speaker that wants to do it on a full time basis, it's important to really embrace the grind of
Mm.
doing the dirty work as a speaker. So that's reaching out to LinkedIn connections. It's also uh, scaling up email. Some people are better on the phone, so flooding your calendar with sales calls and really embracing the process of making that individual connection personally, even if you have stuff like virtual assistants or a staff of people that work for you. Something that I um, have found helpful is creating personalized videos for
Mm.
organizations that I want to speak to specifically, instead of having the staff of people who work for me do that. Sometimes I do it on a personal level, and it's helped me land speaking gigs as well. I'll give you an example. I'm doing a speaking event uh, at our local community college here in Windsor. And despite the fact that I went and graduated from the school, one of the reasons that I got the gig to talk to business students and other college students at the local community college here was because I created the video. So it's
Mm.
all about creating personal connections, and video messages is one of the ways that I do it on a consistent basis.
I love it, man. Yeah, I know yeah, it's a great method, right? And the thing that we say too, man, and I know this is you have been a walking example of this, is like, man, you could be the next Tony Robbins. You could be the next big thing. And a lot of these speakers out here, they think that they are, or they say that they are. And I say, hey, that's great. But you know what? If you're the next Tony Robbins, but no one knows you and you're just speaking locally at your, your local high school or whatever it is, then that's all you're gonna be. right? And that's fine. Some people want that. That's okay. But you're a perfect example of, hey, look, you had a story, you have a message that you're passionate about. Obviously, this was something that you had some time and effort to put into. You came in here, you followed the process from day one, and you've seen the results. And there's so many opportunities out there for someone like yourself with a message that you have, and for really all speakers. Like, it's crazy the amount of messages that we deal with and different messages. It's like you have a unique story. Get the roadmap, get the game plan that you need in order to um get on stage and have the impact that you want. So yeah, man, I love to hear it. Well, last piece of wisdom for you. Obviously, you joined a few months ago. Tell us a little bit about, man, if you are someone, you're back to where you were at before, or maybe you already have, somewhat of a successful speaking business, but you're struggling to find leads, you're struggling to land consistent engagements. What would you recommend to that individual who is looking at us, looking at potentially joining Initiate Connections, is a little on the fence, not exactly sure of whether or not they want to do this? What would you say to that person who's thinking about taking that leap and joining us here at Initiate Connections and joining the community to take their speaking business to the next level?
Yeah, before I answer that question, I'm just gonna follow up on something I forgot to tell you in the last answer, and that's as a speaker, and one of the things I think that you've helped me to sort of hone in on is that you don't solve everyone's problems because a lot of speakers try to that don't have the narrow focus, try to solve everyone's problem, and
Facts.
try to say that they're a jack of all trades as a speaker. But I think the one lesson that this program teaches you is that you have to really narrow your space in terms of what you speak on, and then diversify within the strength that you have instead of trying to market yourself as something that you're not. So I just wanted to add that as well.
Yeah, I love it, man. That specificity of who you serve and how you solve them, and niche equals rich, right? So if you can niche down with what you're speaking about, it's going to lead to great success on the back end. So I love it, man. It's very, very true.
Yeah, and just to answer your last question, I think anyone that's looking to do this on a full time basis, I think you have to ask yourself two questions. And the first is where are where are you now, and is this something that you want to commit to on a regular basis? Do you want to invest in yourself? And I think investing in yourself as a speaker is not about inflating your ego. It's about finding ways to deliver a message of hopefully inspiration, but also a value that solves people's problems and gives them tangible uh, um, solutions to their problems, whether it be personal or professional. So really drilling down on the value and that you bring to organizations, and really answering the question of what sort of personal investment that you want to uh, provide to organizations. Now, for this program specifically, I think you and Aaron do it slightly different than most speaking programs, in the sense that once someone joins this program, I think there's a sense of wanting everyone to succeed in terms of sharing resources and success and failure stories in order to grow from a collective standpoint as well as an individual standpoint. And one of the things about this program that is different than most is that once the initial sort of benchmark is reached, you want to see the continued growth of the speaker. So I think anyone that wants to join a speaking program, I think this is one of the more superior ones because this program goes beyond the surface of the expectation of the minimal. So I think if people want to grow and expand as speakers on a sustainable and long-term basis, I think this is a great program to join because you're rooted in wanting the fruits of the labor to continue after the initial investment has been made.
100%, man. Yeah, 100%, man. Well, dude, keep crushing it, and thank you so much for that. And always good to see you. Keep crushing it on the speaking business. What do you got on the docket for the rest of the day? I'm expecting a couple more Loom videos and some prospecting efforts.
Well, I've already recorded a podcast today all about creating more business in Canada. And I'll
Excellent.
see you in about an hour and a half, my friend, because as you know, I can't get enough of you, my friend. So I'll see you for our meeting at 1 o'clock. I've got two speaking gigs next week. And one of the things that I'm using this program to do is also grow and expand the other aspects of my life that are important to me, from podcasting to promoting inclusion on a full-time basis. So, Joseph, one of the things I always tell myself is if I don't stay busy, I don't stay out of trouble. So the grind always continues, my friend.
Excellent. I love it. I love it, man. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, brother. Looking forward to seeing you in an hour and a half. And thank you all for watching. We will chat with you soon.